Dee's question about everything being about sex told me more about her husband and her perceived role with him. She would only ask that question if everything was or seemed to be about sex in her life, which meant to me she was dealing with a man who prioritized sex and probably expected compliance from her on a regular basis. Everything is about sex because it is, I wrote, until you make it otherwise. Not blaming or saying you have total control, but women have more control than they realize. She didn't respond to either of my answers, which was both curious and a blessing. I was acquiring hundreds of friends on Facebook and followers on Twitter, many asking more questions and expecting, sometimes demanding, answers. Still, I wondered why she would ask and not acknowledge. I opened my laptop at dawn and followed politics and the drama surrounding it until late at night. My military injuries had rendered me unable to walk or stand, so sitting at a computer was my new unpaid occupation. I wrote screenplays and parts of books when I needed a break, but always came for the latest developments, whether they were somewhere on the web or on the airwaves. Most evenings, people from all over the country would message me just to tell me they were glad to see me online or express their gratitude for my hard work that kept them informed. I laughed that most of their names began with a D or a J and wondered what energy I was emitting that attracted those namesakes to me. I often confused one J with another, not always sure I was speaking to the same person I spoke to the night before, and sometimes their personal histories were so similar. There was no real need to separate identities. They became one person with common fears, common dreams, and common problems. Dee was different. She wrote me late at night and seemed more friendly, more open than any discussion on the phone or messages during the day. "I'm in the right zone now," she wrote. "Awesome night." She was in California, a place I was familiar with and often loved and missed, but her language was younger than she looked and less sophisticated than I believed her to be. "You need to loosen up," she continued. "Don't think so much." "Thinking comes naturally," I replied, "yet I never feel like I'm thinking at all." "The stars are out, the music is good, and I'm not thinking or feeling any pain." "Drinking?" I asked. "Of course," she replied. "My favorite wine." And then she would disappear, sometimes for hours, sometimes never returning until the following day, and my frustration at the nature of internet communications would heighten every time. If I was sitting there with her, would she just disappear, stop speaking, leave me sitting there?